Today we got some of the previews for the Blooded Kill Team, which are the Traitor Guardsmen from the new Kill Team Moroch set that is out for pre-order this weekend. The preview is mostly focused on the Chaos Ogryn, which, let's admit it, is one of the centerpieces of this team. And spoiler, I'm pretty hyped about everything this Ogryn can do. So it looks like this team will have a surprising amount of buffing potential. And the way the Warhammer community page is talking about it, it looks like the strategy is that your Ogryn will go in hard and just be a wrecking ball from the enemy team. And while he's on the enemy's backline, the rest of your operatives can pick off other targets or do things to get you points. Starting off, we have the Ogryn's profile and his weapon. He's 2 APL, which was surprising. He has a 5-up save and 16 wounds. So not a very good save, a decent number of wounds. His melee profile is 4 attacks, hits on 3s, and 5 resist damage. And he has stun and rending for his critical special rule. Just a reminder here, rending will turn a normal hit into a critical, and stun can actually remove one of your opponent's normal dice. So for first impressions, this isn't anything out of the norm for more elite models. I play a lot of Tyranids Warriors, so this seems pretty much on par. If you did a crit, you do automatically get another crit, plus you remove an enemy dice. So with that, plus the fact that he has a bad save, I think you're supposed to do everything you can to get him into melee as quickly as possible. So nothing crazy for him yet. But to synergize with the Ogryn, we have a Traitor Guardsman who has a buffing ability called Regular Dosage. So how this works is at the beginning of the game, you give one of 3 buffs to a friendly operative. And that buffing operative can also spend 1 AP during the match to buff other operatives, but each operative can only get these buffs once per game. So what these are is the first one is a 2d3 heal. Another one is you can give a melee weapon Relentless for the rest of the battle. Relentless is one of the best buffs because it lets you reroll any or all of your dice. So you can pick and choose. With that Ogryn, that means you will probably hit all of your dice, or at least 3 out of 4, and you'll probably end up getting a crit and triggering its stun and its rending. And the final buff is a 6-up Feel No Pain. That and the Relentless both last till the end of the battle. For this one, it means that each time you would take a wound, you roll a dice, and if you did assist, you don't take that wound. These are all amazing on that Ogryn. If I understand this correctly, it means you can use multiple of these on one operative. So you start out the game with one, then you use the other during the first turning point, and then you keep this operative near the Ogryn so it can 2d3 heal later on. That thing is going to be a monster with these buffing units nearby. We also know there'll be an Enforcer model that can, quote, spur him on farther, which most likely means some kind of movement like a free dash or something. And we have a communication unit that has a signal ability that can give him an extra APL. And finally, the Ogryn model will have Avalanche of Muscle, which means that whenever he finishes a charge, he selects one enemy within engagement range, and they take D3 mortal wounds. So let's go over this if the stars align and you got all of your buffs on the model. He'll have 16 wounds, 3 APL, a melee weapon that can deal 6 damage, and will have Relentless, Stun, and Rending. He'll have a 6-up Feel No Pain, some kind of extra movement from the Enforcer, have a 2d3 heal at one point during the match, and when he charges you, you take d3 mortal wounds, meaning he can one-shot anything with 9 wounds or less. He's going to be an absolute unit if you can pull that off. Hopefully we'll get to see more of the other models from this team, and I'm sure in the next day or two we'll see some stuff from the Space Marines. I honestly don't know how the Space Marines will do anything to keep up with something this crazy, just as far as like a cool factor, but I am excited to see what they do. Alright, let me know your thoughts in the comments about what you think about this team so far. I know we haven't seen a ton, but I think we have a good vibe for how they play. Thank you for watching.